weird, with all their beads and their chants and their long robes. And she spent the rest of the day staring at me and Pat, muttering to herself about some people not even caring about hellfire and damnation. Well, somehow, after that, Pat decided to marry me anyway. Now, I don't know if the family reunion had much to do with this. I suspect that it did, but we decided to elope. And even more so, we decided not to tell anyone that we were going to get married until afterwards. We were going to wait a while. We were going to go ahead through with it. We made the arrangements with our good friend Alex Sanders, who is a judge, could perform a marriage ceremony in South Carolina. We pulled it off with only Alec and his wife Zoe as witness. So we were married in Charleston, the setting of South of Broad. And after our marriage, we returned to our home on Fripp Island to spend our honeymoon. At the time, we knew we were going later on a trip to Italy, so that was going to be our first honeymoon. So we got caught, though, in a trap of our own making. We were married at the end of May, shortly after my youngest son, Jake, graduated from Queens College in Charlotte. On the spur of the moment, Jake decided he would treat himself to a few days at the beach for his graduation present. When he couldn't reach me, because unknown to him, I was at my wedding, in Charleston, Jake drove on down to Fripp Island from Charlotte. There, he spent the next few days with us, blissfully unaware that he was intruding on our honeymoon. So it has been quite an interesting 12 years. I have received a lot of questions about Pat. Of course, one of the main things people always ask me is, how did you meet Pat, and so forth. My favorite is, does Pat Conroy write your books? I can only say I wish, but I think that it's pretty evident. 14 years, he hadn't written one of his own. How come he's going to be but one thing, and one great thing, one of the many, many great things of having the privilege to meet and marry Pat is that I get to meet and hang around with other writers, some big shots, and so one of these being Rick Bragg. Rick I immediately identified with because we are kindred spirits and we know each other's people. We decided when we were backstage, probably most of you are kin to us. When after we met Rick and Pat had sent his mother flowers and so forth, we went to visit his mother. That is still one of the my most cherished memories. And because I knew my mother would be proud of me as a good Southern lady, I carried her a chocolate cake. So that's supposed to be my segue into having Rick come forward and talk about his relationship with Pat and how thrilled we both are to be here and to celebrate this great moment, the publication of South Broad.
No, this is my chance to get even. Were there no women in South Carolina? That you had to go to Gadsden? God, there's so much opportunity here, I don't know where to start. I really am honored, and for you too. Also to be here with you. But there are some contradictions in Pat that I think that you should know about before you plop down any more of your good money. Yeah, there is real beauty in what he does. I learned most of what I know about writing from listening to my people talk, but applying it, I learned violence from reading some Cormac McCarthy. I read color in detail from Larry McMurtry. I learned grit by reading Eudora Welty. But I learned humanity in writing from reading Pat Conroy. If you don't understand what I mean, read about a young girl trading her future for a red dress. In one of my favorite books. And you'll see what I mean. There is so much to learn as a writer from this guy. But as a human being, let me share some things with you. Exactly once every 2 months, my phone will ring. Now, not any phone that I have answered for several years, but phone numbers that, like in my mama's basement where I lived 7 years ago, which he continues to call because it's too much trouble to learn my phone number.